butterflies, welcome to my garden. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And now let's get into the video. Hi everybody, it's your girl Calypso and I am back again. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back again, I'm back again, I'm back again. The song is back. I know some people might find it a little bit obnoxious, but it's just something that kind of gets me going in a way. So I know you've noticed the butterflies and you're wondering what is wrong. This is just something that I just felt it in my heart today to try out. And it was kind of inspired by, what's her name? There's this Afro-Latina performer. Her name is Amara La Negra. And I came across this photograph of her and with the butterflies in her hair and just her skin glistening in the lighting. And I just thought, wow, this is something that it's a new concept, but it represents me in a way because I like that eclecticness. I like that quirky, with the butterflies, and there's something still feminine and sweet and almost innocent about it. So I just decided to go with that look today. So hi Amar, thank you for the inspiration, girl. And yeah, I hope you like it. I hope I did your style justice today. So today I'm just gonna be discussing, sensuality and how it applies in my trans feminine journey, and how I was able to tap into my sensual side. Now, but first of all, what is the definition of sensuality, you may ask? So, sensuality basically is just the ability to fully experience the senses and delights the senses and fully experience all senses, based on an action or a word or just something that triggers and delights the senses. So I think that's what sensuality is. And in my experience, part of my feminine journey has, involved getting in touch with my sensual, seductive side without, the shame that's most of the times attached to it. So I'm just still on that journey where I'm trying to get in touch with that side of me, that, seductive and sexual side, and not sexual, sensual side. Well, that too, without shame or apology, because I think as a woman, as a fully realized, a fully formed woman, you also have to be in touch with all aspects of your femininity, And I think sensuality is a big part of a feminine journey. Being able to own it and being able to use it, to wield it in a, mostly benevolent way, wield it to your advantage. It helps. And when I think of women who are feminine yet strong, sensual and seductive and seemingly unapologetic about their sex appeal, there's the obvious ones like a Rihanna, Dita Von Teese, the burlesque queen. There's Madison Beer, there's Beyonce, Halle Berry, Ariana Grande, Jennifer Lopez. And then there's also the throwback examples, when you think of women like a Dorothy Dandridge, when you think of women like a Josephine Baker, Elizabeth Taylor, Marilyn Monroe. And there's a more subtle examples too, all these women that I just named, like all those women who very brazen about their sex appeal and unapologetic or shamed about it, they inspire me. I find them all very different in their style, but at the same time, there's something to learn, there's something to unpack, and there's something to take from each and every single one of these women. And then there's also the more subtle yet but seductive, powerful, and regal examples, like a Sade, like Erykah Badu, who's like almost goddess-like, and there's Amal Clooney, and who was able to tame, Amal Clooney, who was able to tame the world's most famous bachelor, and yeah, there's also women like Wallis Simpson too. And Wallis Simpson, if you think about it, she wasn't necessarily considered to be a classical beauty or conventionally attractive, but this is the thing, she was able to possess that seductive agency, that and prowess. She was able to possess that over a very powerful man when you take a closer look. She had that seductive agency and she had that sensuality about her. So it doesn't necessarily have to do with your physical beauty, it more has to do with your essence. And I think that's one of the things that I'm really, because I'm unlearning a lot of old ideas that have been pumped into me by society, by environment, by culture and upbringing, and I'm also trying to learn new things as well. So when you think about these women, for example, these women that I mentioned, they seem to defy everything that we've been told about how to behave. They broke barriers and hearts as well, while commanding respect and awe, but they also they're living, they're loving, and they're thriving on their own terms. On their own terms. In a way, they all defy that expectation, and they are just living on their own terms. Someone like a Erykah Badu, someone like a Sade, who releases an album once every 10-20 years, and people are still in awe of her. People are still amazed, and people still adore her. It's almost ethereal if you think about it. There's that mythical quality and that mystique that she possesses. It's almost like all these women belong to some kind of elite sorority, and I have no problem admitting that I would like to pledge that sorority. Just saying. I'm still learning about femininity. I'm still getting in touch with my feminine energy and my really feminine sensual side. It's like, but I decided to let go, as I said previously, about everything that I had learned and almost take on it like I'm learning a foreign language. I personally don't believe in idolizing, because like all the women that I mentioned, for example, I wouldn't say that I necessarily idolize them, but I do admire them and I do look at them for pointers and inspiration sometimes, because like I said, they're all very different, but there's something that each and every single one of those women bring to the table. There's something to be learned from the way they have conducted themselves that can help you, because as a woman, you don't have to fit into one specific category. You can be multifaceted, especially in modern times. So this is where like I said, I just believe in challenging myself to embody femininity in its highest expression. The vitality, the intuition, the sensuality, the emotional depth as well, and the fierce ability to inspire both respect and love as well. This is where my interest in burlesque came in. I decided to sign up to take like burlesque classes, the fan dance. It helped me to work on my feminine aura and my presence and my essence, and still maintaining that sense of mystique. So when you think about burlesque performers, like a Dita Von Teese in a martini glass, when you think of a Catherine DeLish, when you think of all these amazing women who are able to captivate the attention of an audience during the span of their performance, but there's still something mysterious, there's still something, there's more than meets the eye with these women, and we're still intrigued by them and their personalities and their characters. We're still intrigued and we still want to know more, but it's almost like the more you look, the less you see. I admire that quality. So that was one of the things that really attracted me to get into taking burlesque classes. And so I signed up to this studio in Sydney. I live in Sydney, so I signed up to the studio in Sydney, and It's called the Sky Sirens, and I did maybe a few classes there, and it kind of parlayed into my everyday life where I'm not necessarily in my head anymore where I'm thinking about, oh, do I look ridiculous when I do this, or do I need to work on my posture? But it just became a subconscious thing where I decided to carry myself a little bit more softer, and when I say soft, I don't mean slow, just softer and a little bit more ethereal, I guess, or esoteric, if you may. So yeah, when you think about it, like the stockings, the lingerie, the nipple tassels, the fan techniques, and the art of the street tease, you know, it all adds to that feminine allure and spills into regular life, and I can see the subtle differences even in the way I talk and my expression. And hey, it's still a continuous journey. I wouldn't consider myself to be an expert. I'm still learning as I go through every day, but I just felt like sharing that as well. I was just inspired to talk more about it because there's still that misunderstanding in there as well, and it might seem, everything I'm saying might seem cumbersome to some people. It's not something that everybody would be able to grasp at first. So some people might see it as too much work and it might seem cumbersome, but I find, for me, I saw it as an investment, as a self-investment. So yeah, I did it for me specifically. So I didn't really do it I didn't really decide to change for anyone. I did it mostly for myself, So ultimately, I think that's what it is. It's something that you have to decide to do for you, not necessarily because you're trying to entice anyone. Like for me, I do it for myself and I'm still working on it, I'm still a work in progress, like a seed growing into a flower or like a caterpillar into a butterfly. There's some people that might be judgmental in society as well because, God forbid, because, in general, society has done much in general to condemn or malign the seductive woman, So the woman who operates with such brazen autonomy and such electric vitality, it's almost threatening to the patriarchy. So you get branded with different names, that are not necessarily flattering. Most of the times you get branded with derogatory names. So being in touch with that feminine energy and prowess, it helps recognize the innate power that you have as a woman and helps you wield it with finesse. Being in touch with that sensuality helps you to finesse the way you go through life, and it helps you finesse the way you live, and it helps you live on your own terms as well. And it helps you step into your own ultimately. So for me, I feel like that's the ultimate goal, just learning how to finesse my way through life and learning how to maneuver through society while maintaining a sense of mystery, while maintaining that aura that will always be intriguing, where the more you look, the less you see. And ultimately, that's the goal. So yeah, I say that to say it's all a journey, and you're welcome to join me on my journey. And yeah, I encourage you to just take some time out as a woman to invest in it. Trends or not, this is a self-investment. It doesn't necessarily have to do with your gender expression. As long as you identify with the feminine side of you as a woman, I think it's important to pay attention. That way you can learn how to finesse through life. So on that note, I'll leave it at that. And if you have any questions or anything, just leave it in the comment section and let me know what you think. And let me know what you think about this look right here. My best friend said it's hard for her to take me seriously when I look like this, but it is what it is. I just thought it was fun and quirky. So on that note, thank you for listening to me run my mouth again. Protect your energy, spread love, be kind to one another, and just keep the peace. And I'll see you real soon. So until then, fly high, my butterflies. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.